Life like on board a small sailboat? Well, I guess it depends on your perspective. For me, I've been preparing for life on board small spaces for the last 5 years. And after living in small bedrooms and smaller bedrooms, I finally got the opportunity to actually live on board a small sailboat. So believe it or not, I have more space in the area that you're looking at right now than I actually had in a regular bedroom. When you consider the bed takes up a lot of space and your television takes up a lot of space, you really don't have a whole lot of space in your bedroom either, if not if you have a large bedroom. But on average, over the last 5 years, I've tried to live smaller and smaller. I am a minimalist. Most of my stuff is in storage for the last 5 years. So I don't even know if I'm ever going to go back to that. I may, if I get old enough where I can no longer tolerate living on a sailboat. But for right now, this is great. So this is that's the navigation station there. This is the main SETI area. This is where I do my work remotely. And this table, of course, folds up to give me more working space. And this is my printer. I do my printing and scanning here as well. And as you can see, I have it netted, and that's when we're underway. Because the boat can tilt over 45 degrees, and I don't want that to fall over, so that stows that for me. But let me show you about what it really takes to be able to live on a sailboat. You really have to be organized. It's almost like living in Rubik's Cube, because if you move something somewhere, all of a sudden you're out of space at that place, and you have a little hole where you moved it from to put something else. So you have to be strategic, and it's taken me, let's see, we're going into June, so this will be my 6th month aboard. It's actually taken me almost 6 months to really get into a regiment where everything's, day to day and smooth. So let me show you some of this. I want to concentrate on the forward bow, the forward cabin, I guess you could call it. And let's go there for a moment, and I'll show you how I have myself set up in there. I'm going to close this and go to another frame here. Yeah, so as we venture into the bow area, this is the forward berth. It's a double berth. I refer to it as my captain's cabin. It has a privacy curtain here. It can be spread across for privacy. And as you enter here, let me show you that this forward berth is quite large. It'll fit up to a 6-foot person. The 6-foot mark on my tape measure is right there. So actually 6.5. You can be 6.5 feet and fit perfectly fine in this front berth here. And you see there's plenty of room for a person on that side and a person on that side to snuggle up if you're compatible. Okay. So coming over to the left here, I have these extra butt cushions for the front of the boat. And under here, I have the main head. If you happen to be out sailing and somebody really needs to use the bathroom really badly, they can actually use this head. I don't use it. I have a little pee bottle that I use, but anyone's more than happy to use this. It's fully functional. It works fine, but kind of pump it up a little bit to get the juices going. And see, it's working there. But anyway, they can use that. For the most part, it's covered up, and I don't use it. So what I use this area for here is my sitting area. Let me sit down. And here's where you need to be organized with clothes. This is how my clothes organized. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 hutches here. In the first hutch, I have all my t-shirts pre-rolled. That term pre-rolled is a tricky one. But this is true, man. I've pre-rolled 2 weeks worth of shirts up there. There's 14 t-shirts, various types, all rolled up nice and neat. In the second one, I have enough towels there to last me 2 weeks. Definitely a week. definitely a week and a half. Usually I can go through 2 weeks. As I come down, there's my underwear. Also, plenty of underwear there for more than 2 weeks, and I keep my sailing shorts in here as well. Okay, and in the third hutch is the socks. That's where I keep my socks. Okay, and then next to that, I have a little hanger here for work clothes. We're working from home, so I'm not using these right now, but I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I usually keep 10 in here. 10 work shorts, 10 work shirts for the week. And I have an extra jacket here, an extra waterproof jacket here, just in case. And then as I go through these, I put the dirty clothes in here. Okay, dirty clothes go in there as I wear those daily, so that goes in there, and those go off to the laundromat. Then if I come back to the cabin, up on the top shelf here, let me turn on these lights, better idea what's going on in here. On the top shelf here I have 3 Levi's, my regular Levi's. I haven't had to wear those. I wore them the other day, but I don't really need to wear them anymore since we've been working remotely. But the ones with the belt are my daily ones. The other 2 are kind of like spares. There's an extra cup of soups back there, and just stuff here. And here I have a couple extra towels, hand towels, face towels, and water there. Okay, so back out this way. Over here on this shelf, I keep my moisturizer, my water that I need, in here at nighttime. And here's my drug cabinet with all my medications. All those medications, man, all the ones that I don't stock up right here. And that goes in there. And that goes up like that when I'm sailing to make sure those bottles don't come spoiling out. Then back here I have an extra laptop, emergency laptop, emergency keyboard, just in case, keep that fully charged. No shortage of electronics on the boat. Okay, so that's it for the front cabin. And when you're in here, you can actually open the hatch, step up, look around. Very nice. If you need to. Okay. Come back down. Okay. When you want privacy, you just put up this little privacy curtain here. It's a cheapo thing. But nobody will see you in here doing your business or whatever. So this is a cabin for 2 people. And now let's move out into the SETI area. So same thing out here. Okay, so for the SETI area, this chair that you see here converts to a berth. And this berth, let me show you how long this berth is. Hang on a second. These are just my daily jackets. The most common jackets that I use daily, I just kind of like put right here. Let me put that here. Okay. So, you knew that one over there, 6.5 feet, fits a person easily. And this one, also fits a person that's about 6'5". 6-foot marker going all the way down to the end. Okay. The way that this works is, let me show you. This folds up. There's a retainer cord down here. Oh, actually, it's in here. Behind here. This swings up like this and hooks up behind here. And now, this person or maybe 6'5", has plenty of space to stretch out. And that thing just stays above it and it's not going to go anywhere. So you can see it's very comfortable. And the same thing happens on this side, on the opposite side, exactly the same thing. This folds up. Of course right now I'm using that for storage for my printer and my guitar and my extra life jackets over there. But that can be arranged, depending on what we're doing for the day. I can move that stuff around. So the first one fits 2 people. This one fits a 6'5" person. This one will fit a 6'5" person. And the one in the back here, I'm also using for storage. This one actually fits a 7-foot person. So I got a bunch of storage in there that could also be easily moved around to accommodate an extra person. So then, let's see. So that's how I have it worked out for the SETI area. And it works out very well for a single person. Okay, and then of course I have my nav station here with all the essentials for navigation, including all my protractors and chart plotters and all that sitting up in this nav bag, which you don't really use for the bay, but if I needed it, I know how to use it. I have my radios. This is my vest radio. It's charging right now. And this is the onboard marine radio for the boat itself. Instruments and charging there. And this is my emergency board up here. This is a horn. And let me show you this, man. This is really cool. Air horn. I'm using Velcro to mount it. And these new air horns, you don't have to refill them. You don't have to buy canned air anymore. All you have to do is have an air pump, and you pump it back up to 100 pounds, and you're set to go. So I'll never have to buy another canned air again. And you tech guys, you need that, man. Tech guys, buy this, because you'll never have to buy canned air again. So I have that. I use Velcro, which I learned from Chris Lundin, which is a good one. I have an emergency whistle in case that fails. Velcro. I have an emergency signal mirror here. This is a really neat device. It lets you line up your bright object on that star, and you aim it, and you can tell precisely the way you're going to beam it back to them if you need to signal someone. So that's an emergency boat signaling mirror. Okay. And then I have a bearing compass. All boats have a bearing compass. This is also secured by Velcro, but I can pull it out of here in this fashion. And this is used for sighting distant objects that you know or that you can find on a chart to get your bearing from that object and know what your bearing is from that object. So that's what this is used for. I'll put that back. And then I have emergency strobes, 2 of them. These activate automatically when they hit water. You can actually activate them manually by turning the bottom control here. There's a little knob here. You can turn on each one of them. But these you can grab, you can attach them to your vests, and as soon as it hits the water they start flashing. And you can see these things for miles, both in the daytime and the nighttime. So those are the emergency strobes that I have. There's no shortage of compasses on board a boat. I have another one here at the nav station, as you can see. We also have these handheld compasses. They're also made for making bearings. You aim it at a certain spot in the distance. It'll tell you what your bearing is to that object in degrees, and you can locate it on your map, and then you know exactly what angle or bearing you are from it. This is a handheld one. This one does the same thing. This one goes around your neck, and you do the same thing. You point it to the object that you want, and it'll tell you what your bearing is in relation to the object that you're looking at in the distance. So I have 2 of those. Always carry a bunch of extra flashlights about the boat. I have one here. There's an extra headlamp. I have another one at the bow of the cabin, just to make sure. In case you lose power, you need to be able to see at nighttime. And I also have a thermal gun. Hey man, before you come on the boat, I can check your temperature. You're not going to get on the boat, man, if you have a temperature that's more than 100 degrees here. Let's see, that's set to Fahrenheit. Let me set it to let's see here. Max. Yeah, that's Fahrenheit. So that's 80 degrees that I'm aiming at. I'll take it off. Hang on a second. Okay, infrared thermometer is used to check the heat on your engine to make sure it's not going to overheat. These were around long before this new stuff where Trump says, yeah, you look at this new thing, it's like a gun, you point it at somebody and pull the trigger, it tells you the temperature. But here's how it works. This is set for Celsius odd by default, so I set it to Fahrenheit. And then if I put my arm there, it's reading my temperature. My temperature is 92.3. So I'm safe, man. I don't have a fever at all. And if I measure the temperature of the printer, it goes down to 79. It's going down. Whatever I point it at, it's going to point. It's going to tell us what that temperature is. Temperature of this right here is 79.1, which is lower than my body temperature. But if I put my arm on there, it immediately jumps up to 91, 92. And you don't want to be above 100. You're entering a fever. 103, you're in danger. So I have no fever. Anyway, that's what this is used for, to check the engine temperature on your boat. I just happen to have one. And that was given to me by Terry Pip. I never thought I'd have a boat to use it on. Thank you, Terry. Let's see, what else can I show you that's going on in this corner? That's pretty much it there. Of course, over here we have our, our nav lights and all that we went through the other day. My radios, carry 2 radios, one on my vest, and it's always good for a boat to have a radio in itself. Okay, so here's another view of my workspace with that berth fully opened. Plenty of space for even a big person to sleep there. The same thing on this side once that's pulled up. So yeah, at times I'll have more than 3 computers up here, especially when I'm working remotely. And I have my work computer back here. This is my power supply and another mouse there that I break out. I'm working remotely. My main workstation here. My secondary station there. All my backup drives. I have 2 backup drives. One's a 5 terabyte, the other one's a 4 terabyte. They're sitting in a sea bag right here. If this were to flood, that would not be affected by it. So I wanted to make sure that, I got water in here, that at least my backup stuff wasn't gonna, take a swamp. And then as you can see, as we come back under the table, I have here is my music strip for my music stuffs here. So sometimes I'm sitting here, I'm playing my guitar, and it's very comfortable just to have this up and have my effects right underneath here. And they don't go anywhere when the boat tilts over. They're pretty solid. They don't slide. Even if they slid, they're not going to cause a catastrophe or anything. So that's pretty solid. This rug pretty much holds them in place. Okay, and finally, let's take a look at the galley. The galley is very simple. What I have here is what's called an alcohol stove. Let me show you that to you. But I have my coffee supplies in here. So I keep my creamer and my coffee, and little odds and ends cups, extra little cups there. But the stove is under here. This actually can be used, to prepare your meals. Then you take this off, and you can stow this right here, and actually use that as a cutting board if you needed to. That's another little tool that you can use. That slides in there. Then I grab my coffee pot, and it already has water in it. Coffee pot goes on there. And with an alcohol stove, it's basically the same principle. We turn on the gas. In this case, it's vapor. And you stick this, so that turns off the vapor. It's just vapor coming up. There's no gas, no butane. Although I'd rather have a butane stove. I'm thinking of changing one because this alcohol stuff is really going out soon. But anyway, you turn this on, you open this up, it opens up the vapor, and you do the same thing with the light stick. And there goes the flame. And put the pot over that, and in a couple of minutes we'll have boiling water. And this is on a gimbal. The stove has a gimbal so that it stays level when the boat is walking around. Right now I have the gimbal locked because I'm not sailing. That's another nice thing about these little stoves is they're on the gimbal. So I use this stove to cook, warm up water. I also have a little frying pan in there that I put out when I want to, make some like popcorn chicken or something like that, or heat something up. I can do that as well. I have a sink here and an ice box. The only frustrating thing is I got to keep putting ice in it, so my perishables are far and few in between. I try to put ice in it, and that'll last me maybe 2 days, but I have to make sure that I eat everything in there or put more ice in it. So I'm not cooking a whole lot, but it's nice to be able to, when you want to. So in a few minutes that thing will start whistling at me that my water is ready, and I can, have me some coffee. But anyway, that's the alcohol stove. See, the flame is now blazing pretty nicely there, and it works really well. Let me turn that off, and I'll leave that cover off because I'm probably going to have some coffee later anyway. Okay, and then on this side I got more supplies. Let's see, on this side, some extra odds and ends. So that's the galley area, and it works fine for me. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's the entire boat on the inside. Now for my bathroom essentials, I have a little duffel bag here with all, my deodorant and my soap, mouthwash, toothbrush, trimming scissors. So all that I take with me every morning with a fresh pair of, underwear or whatever, up to our community bathroom and shower facilities, which are very, very clean. Really, really clean. The waters are really hot there. It's really nice. That's the only rub, is having to go up to shower. But that's not so bad when your signal, you don't have to worry too much about the inconvenience too much. Okay, so that takes care of that part of it. And I think that's it. I grab a towel, I grab some underwear, I take this up, go take a shower, come back if I need to. Alright.